Hey guys, I'm Nikki.
I'm Shruti.
And I'm Meenu.
As we all know, 2020 has not been the best year, but we hope that you will have many blessings in the year to come.
We hope you and your loved ones will have a safe, happy, and prosperous new year.
As the new year approaches us with new hopes anew, here's to wishing you and your family a wonderful year ahead.
We would also like to make an announcement before the year ends.
This will be the last episode of CANDID Talks.
We will no longer be posting any new content on this channel.
We would like to thank each and every one of you for listening to our podcast.
In this video, we will be uploading a compilation of all our episodes.
We would love to know what your favorite episode was in the comments down below.
So sit back and enjoy.
Hey guys, it's Meenu.
And I'm Nikki, and welcome to the first episode of CANDID TALKS, the bright side of COVID.
Unfortunately, one of our hosts was not able to join us today due to personal reasons.
But we will still keep going. I have recently seen that the virus is making us stay indoors and literally be prisoners in our houses. I absolutely hate it. I can't even see my friends.
We all know that. That's the only thing on the news, 24/7. I know life is hard for many of us during these times. But look on the bright side. Being stuck at home has made us think outside the box, discover new talents, find new hobbies, and so many more things with our extra time.
Now that I think about it, I do have a lot more time at hand. And I was able to try out many new things during my free time that I never got to do before.
I know, right? I was able to discover that I have a bit of a talent in video making. What have you been up to these days?
Nothing much. But I've been reading some new books, like reading a lot of new books because I could not read books like when we actually had to go to school and stuff. And right now I'm reading Joining to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. And it is awesome. I totally love the book.
Even I read that book before. It's so good.
Now that I think about it, the little time that I have has allowed me to spend more time with my family.
Me too. I've been able to spend more time with my brother and parents during this lockdown.
Me too, except I don't have a sibling.
I know, right? And when I look outside, I see that there's less traffic from what I used to see before lockdown. As a person living in Bangalore, it is impossible to get somewhere without being stuck in huge traffics. But nowadays, there is very less vehicles on the road.
I know, right? It's something that I never thought would happen. In our whole towns and villages, it is so much more peaceful and we are always surrounded by nature, allowing us to get fresh air whenever we want. Unlike our cities where we are always stuck inside our houses because we're too scared to go outdoors.
Yep. And also in villages, usually they have a reputation for lacking cleanliness, internet, and stuff like that. But nowadays, many people are scared of staying in cities because the virus can spread really easily there. So many people are opting to go to their hometowns instead of staying in their cities. And they're getting all their problems like internet, electricity, and stuff like that fixed. And they're realizing they don't have to live in cities just because they have to go to office for their work.
Yeah, we trust the internet and our electronic devices and we can get almost all of our work done anywhere and anytime. I think that's so cool.
Me too. And now if I look around my surroundings, majority of people's hygiene level has increased. People are being so cautious of their health. They're always wearing masks and carrying around hand sanitizer. Looks like everyone is becoming hygiene OCDs.
Yeah.
So, I know that you're a hygiene OCD yourself.
Yes, I do have hygiene OCD. But those of you who don't know what OCD is, it basically means obsessive compulsive disorder. So for people who have this thing, they have to do something. And for continuously. And for me, it's I can't go anywhere if I don't have my hand sanitizer because I say, because I'm the sort of kid that gets sick very easily. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, what was it like before the pandemic in terms of people's hygiene around you?
Okay, so before the pandemic, it was like every time I not wash their hands often, and that just made me really uncomfortable. So yeah.
Yeah. So how is it now when you look around your surroundings?
Okay, so now when I look around my surroundings, it's like and that just made me really uncomfortable. So yeah.
Yeah. So now, how is it now when you look around your surroundings?
Okay, so now when I look around my surroundings, it's like people around me also, they're also like me, like they use sanitizer and people don't stare at me now. So now I feel a lot more better than I used to.
Yeah. So tell us your experience as an OCD throughout your life.
Okay, so I've been an OCD ever since I was a kid, and back then it wasn't much of a thing. But now, people like stare at me in class whenever I open my sanitizer bottle, and I just want to become invisible. So yeah.
Yeah, I used to see that all the time in school with you. Looks like this year
Yeah.
everyone is flexing on their hand sanitizer instead of their AirPods.
Yeah, and there's less pollution and look at climate change. It is having the kind of its life.
I know, right? We always hurt our planet, but now Mother Earth is taking revenge upon us by making us stay indoors. Nature is healing and we are the virus now, because we always hurt our surroundings. It's like reverse psychology.
Yeah, if any of you don't know what is reverse psychology, it's like you want someone to do something for you, but then like you're pretty sure that they won't do it even if you ask them nicely. So you trick the person into going there by telling them the exact opposite of what you really want them to do. So that's reverse psychology.
Yeah.
But I still feel empty without being able to see my friends every day at school.
I know, me too. But look on the bright side. We can still text each other and video call.
I know, but meeting someone in person feels different from seeing them on my phone.
But it's better than not being in contact with anyone at all.
I feel like there is no light during these dark times here.
There's no darkness without light.
Yep. I guess I should appreciate being able to be in contact with my friends virtually than not being in contact at all.
Exactly.
Even our schools are online now and we are able to see our classmates and teachers virtually as well.
I know.
Social media is helping us out a lot. For school, for entertainment and so much more.
I know, right? And stay tuned for our next episode, which will be about social media.
Yeah. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Larger Than Life and subscribe to our YouTube channel of the same name. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify at CANDID TALKS.
Bye!
Hi guys, welcome back to Candid Talks. This is episode 2, Social Media Yay or Nay. I'm Shruti, the host who was unfortunately missing in the first episode.
I am Meenakshi.
And I am Nikki.
So you can probably guess that this episode is about social media by the title.
We were curious and wanted to know how social media is affecting us.
If it affects us in a positive way or a negative way. So we conducted a survey on our Instagram account. If you don't follow us yet, then make sure to follow us at Larger Than Life 3.
And now we will announce the results to the survey that we had conducted. But feel free to let us know your answers to these questions in the comment section.
First question that we asked was, which social media app do you use the most?
A total of 13 people answered this question, out of which 3 people answered for WhatsApp and 3 others said YouTube, and only 1 said Snapchat.
But according to our survey, we found that Instagram is the most used social media app, with 6 people answering Instagram. Let us know which social media app you use the most in the comments.
The next question that we had asked was, do you spend a lot of time on social media?
A total of 22% answered, out of which 77% said yes and 23% said no.
So I guess people spend a lot of time using various social media apps.
The third question that we had asked was, why do you use social media? We even gave options, which were A for entertainment, B for school, C to connect with friends and family, D because of boredom, E all of the above, F none of the above, G other.
4 people voted for entertainment, 1 voted for school, 2 voted for socializing, 2 voted for other, and 7 voted for all of the above.
The next 3 questions that we had asked was not really part of the survey we did for this episode, but we were just generally curious, so we had asked if they had listened to Candid Talks.
And we are pretty amazed by the results, because 9 people said yes and 10 people said no. I can't believe that out of 19 people, almost 9 people said yes. Wait, 9 out of 19? That's a pretty low score if it was on an exam, but A for effort.
We had also asked out of curiosity if they had subscribed to our YouTube channel, Larger Than Life.
And it was 50-50.
By this survey, we found out that
Instagram is the most popular social media app and people spend a lot of time on it. Plus, quite a few people have listened to Candid Talks and have subscribed to our channel.
Yup, so it's evident that all of us use social media on a daily basis.
Yeah, like some people go on Instagram first thing when they wake up.
Yeah, a lot of people say that social media is very bad. What do you think, Shruti?
Well, social media isn't entirely bad. It can also be good. Everything is perceived to have a positive effect until it's used negatively. Like now, with everything that's going on in the world, social media is a platform where people can raise awareness, protest, and just put their opinions out there.
That's true. And social media is a great way to stay connected. For example, with apps like FaceTime, Google Duo, Google Hangouts, Instagram, WhatsApp, etc., you can video call, text, and stuff. So that's cool.
True, people are using social media in a pretty good way now. Social media can also help in shaping our future.
Yup. Some examples of it are trading and acting courses. We can start off practice with the help of Dubsmash apps. Social media influences daily life in different ways.
Like workout routines and stuff.
Yeah, now let's talk about the disadvantages of social media.
Yeah, so if people are very dependent on social media, there are many online scams happening around, like false advertising, false product delivery, etc.
One of the disadvantages of social media is hacking. Personal data and privacy can easily be hacked and shared on the internet, which can make financial losses as well as losses to the personal life.
Cyberbullying, threats, intimidating messages, and rumors can be sent to the masses to create discomfort and chaos in the society.
Addiction. The addictive part of social media is very bad. Teenagers are most affected by the addiction of social media. They get involved very extensively and are eventually cut off from society.
Another disadvantage of social media is frauds and scams. There have been several instances where individuals have been scammed and committed fraud through social media.
Security issues. Nowadays, security agencies have access to people's personal accounts. Sometimes they misuse sensitive information.
Reputation. Social media can easily ruin someone's reputation just by creating a false story and spreading it across social media.
We can also have issues with our health. The excessive usage of social media can also have a negative impact on the health. People get depressed if they are constantly exposed to negative comments.
Social media has also made unconventional jobs popular these days. For example, many people earn from YouTube and by being influencers.
Many people, including us, have tried to make our own content for various platforms during the lockdown.
Yeah, and the lockdown has made access to education critical for a lot of students who cannot afford devices or do not have access to internet and electricity.
Social media is also used for promotional activities of businesses and content creators.
The answer to whether social media is good or bad is not binary. It depends on our usage.
Stay tuned for our third episode, Faith versus Facts,
where we talk about superstitions, blind beliefs, and how much of it is logical.
Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles. Make sure to subscribe to this channel as well as follow us on Spotify, and if you have Instagram, make sure to follow us at Larger Than Life 3. If you haven't subscribed yet, then please make sure to subscribe.
See you all in the next episode.
Bye!
I'm Shruti.
I'm Meenu.
And I'm Nikki.
As people from Indian households, we are exposed to different superstitions.
Well, some of them are logical and others are just stupid.
We did a survey on our Instagram page at Larger Than Life 3. We asked questions related to people's opinion about being superstitious.
The first question that we asked was, are you superstitious?
60% said yes and 40% said no.
A lot of people are superstitious.
The next question we had asked was, do you think superstitions have a scientific reason supporting them?
88% said yes and 12% said no.
That's great. The last question was, what are the superstitions that you've heard?
We got different answers for that. So here is what a few people said. They are,
Black cat is unlucky. Looking into a broken mirror is bad. Never leave your footwear upside down.
The last answer was interesting. It said that you shouldn't lie because next time you go to a riverbank, a snake might bite you.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
today we are going to talk about some popular superstitions and find out if they are factually right.
The first one is, don't step out during an eclipse.
Observing the sun during a solar eclipse causes retinal burns or eclipse blindness.
Based on a series of observations, our ancestors probably reached the conclusion that it was not advisable to set out during an eclipse.
The superstition about Rahu's head, some word we have no idea about. Blocking the sun is a story woven around this practice.
Well, what can we say? People love telling stories.
Yeah, the next one we have is, do not sleep with your head facing the north.
Our ancestors probably knew about the relation between Earth's magnetic field and the human body field known as biomagnetism.
They probably made this rule of sleeping with your head in the south because of the harmful effects related to blood pressure and other diseases that asymmetry with the Earth's magnetic field will create.
However, today we only get to hear that sleeping with one's head in the north is inviting death.
The next one is, don't go near a peepal tree in the night.
Jan van Helmont found out the recipe of plant food in mid-17th century. Before that, the world was clueless about the relation between sunlight, carbon dioxide that magically produces glucose for plants.
Our ancestors probably knew about photosynthesis and the effects of inhaling carbon dioxide in the night. In the night, when there is no sunlight, plants absorb oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Inhaling carbon dioxide in large quantities might actually kill us.
Hence, people were discouraged from venturing near a peepal tree at night, and stories of ghosts were woven around these trees.
I think this can apply to tamarind tree as well.
Well, we don't find a lot of trees these days except for decoration ones outside buildings. And crotons kept inside as well.
I know, totally. Moving on.
Using lemon and green chilies to avoid boogie nazar.
The Nimbo Toka, which is one of the most visible superstitions, probably stems from a culture that encouraged their use because of the qualities of lemon and chili.
Both are rich in different vitamins, and thus our ancestors probably tried to propagate their usage through symbols during ceremonies, which slowly turned into a totka. Some people say lemons absorbs negativity.
Ooh, so this explains why people run their vehicles over lemons on auspicious days.
Some people also claim that they have pesticidal properties, but this has not been proven.
The next one is bathe after attending a funeral ceremony.
Our ancestors did not have vaccines against hepatitis, smallpox, and other deadly and contagious diseases.
Hence, they came up with a set of rituals to be followed after the funeral rites are performed, so as to prevent infection from the dead body. Slowly, stories about the departed soul got linked to this practice.
Well, what can we say? People love telling stories.
The next superstition we have is don't wash your hair on a certain day.
The practice of not washing the hair on certain days, like Tuesday or Thursday, are attributed by some of the water management practices.
Moving on, swallow tulsi leaves. Never chew them.
It is widely believed that Tulsi is goddess Lakshmi's avatar and hence one should not chew the leaves but directly swallow them.
We found a source that says, though the tulsi leaf is healthy, it contains a little amount of arsenic. Thus, chewing it directly causes the teeth to become yellow or result in the degradation of enamel.
We don't know how much of that is true though.
The next one is plastering floor with cow dung is auspicious.
Cow dung plaster is considered auspicious just like any other product of a cow. Hence, mostly all rituals dictate the usage of cow dung to plaster the floor.
Our ancestors probably started this practice to guard against insects and reptiles which are repelled by the pungent smell of cow dung. They did not have the luxury to buy bottled commercial disinfectants like we do.
But over time, this practice became a ritual and we find ourselves following it in spite of it being redundant in the contemporary world.
Well, this was an alternative for the people of the past.
The next one is, don't cut your nails after the sun is down.
Well, nail cutters have sharp edges and we might get hurt if it's dark.
As people also say that you mustn't sweep the house after it's dark because it brings bad luck.
That's because something important might get swept away in the dark.
Honestly, both of these are useless now, thanks to electricity and lights. Well, there wasn't enough source of light during the dark in the past.
Stuff like fasting and applying oil to ourselves before bathing actually have logical reasons.
Yeah, so when we fast, we restrict ourselves from meals. Instead, we consume foods that are relatively light. For example, fruits. We are actually resting our body from digesting heavy foods, which is good occasionally.
Applying oil before bath was followed because doing so would moisturize our skin. Obviously, there were no moisturizers in the past.
Another useless one is keeping an iron object under your pillow or bed will prevent all negativity from your dreams and instill positivity. This is usually done for newborns.
The superstition I'm about to tell now is quite popular. If a black cat crosses your path, you will have an unlucky day or that your plans for the day will get postponed or delayed.
I've heard this a lot of times.
Well, the reason behind this is stupid. It is because black cats are associated with witches who don't even exist.
Come on, who believes in that?
And another one, babies are smeared with kohl, or as we know it, kajal, to ward off buri nazar.
That was done to me.
And me too.
Me 3. The number 13 is often considered unlucky because of various historical events, like the 13th person who appeared at the Last Supper betrayed Jesus.
Well, the Last Supper was technically a painting though.
The number 666 is also unlucky because it invokes the Satan.
While staying on the spooky legends, the next episode is about Halloween, when, why and how it is celebrated.
We can conclude that some of the superstitions are irrational and dumb, while others are logical and believable. Some of them were useful in the past, but are not required today.
Stay tuned for the next episode.
Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles,
which will be linked in the description box below.
Thank you for staying with us till the end through this crazy topic.
See you in the next episode. Bye.
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 Guys, I'm Nikki. Welcome back to CANDID Talks. On today's episode, we will be talking all things Halloween.
I'm Meenu.
I'm Shruti. As usual, we conducted a survey on Instagram and here are the results. If you don't follow us there, then make sure to follow us at Larger Than Life 3.
The first question we asked was, do you celebrate Halloween?
50% said yes and 50% said no.
The second question was, what is your favorite Halloween tradition?
Wearing costumes, decorating our houses, trick-or-treating, and carving jack-o'-lanterns.
And the last question was, what was your favorite Halloween costume?
One person answered a classic Halloween costume.
Moving on,
Halloween is celebrated on October 31st every year. People mostly celebrate by wearing fun costumes and trick-or-treating, etc.
You can also celebrate by throwing Halloween parties, but that's not advisable during a pandemic.
or you can just celebrate at home by watching horror movies, telling scary stories, and of course, having a virtual Halloween party.
The Celts celebrated on the last day of October and believed that the dead would visit them, so they left food outside their homes for the spirits of the dead.
Halloween is thought to have originated about 4000 BC, which means Halloween has been around for more than 6000 years.
If a candle suddenly goes out by itself on Halloween, as though by breath or wind, it is believed that a ghost has come to call.
Wait, what? That's crazy. But did you know that trick-or-treating has been there since the medieval times?
Speaking of trick-or-treating, back in the medieval times, children used to go door to door asking for food, and in return, they promised to pray for the souls of food distributors.
They also wore costumes because spirits wandering among them might be seeking revenge, hence the costumes.
Some people even avoided running into black cats. This is because black cats were believed to be witches in disguise.
Yup. People feared that witches disguised as black cats might curse them.
The full moon usually is associated with werewolves.
Apparently, the magic of witches is strong when it's a full moon on Halloween night. Moving on.
Jack fooled Satan into letting him stay on earth, but Jack was not able to enter heaven, so he was stuck between heaven and hell for eternity. Satan gave him some embers and Jack found some radishes, so Jack carved out the radishes to make lanterns.
He placed the embers inside to guide his lost soul. One myth says that if a bat flies around the roof of a house 3 times, someone in the house will soon die.
Another myth states that if a bat flies into your house on the night of Halloween, it is a sign that your house is haunted. Additionally, people believed that if a bat got into your house, it was because a ghost had let it in.
Were you aware that spiders you see on Halloween may be the spirits of those you have loved and lost, watching over you? In Wales, a disembodied spirit was thought to be sitting on every crossroad on All Hallows Eve.
Children born on Halloween were said to have the power to see spirits and converse with fairies. Welsh families had an especially creepy bonfire tradition. After building a huge fire, each member of the family would throw a small white stone they had marked in some way.
The next morning, they would search through the remains of the fire to find the stones. If one was missing, it meant that the person who the stone belonged to wouldn't live to see another Halloween.
Anyway, here are some ways to celebrate Halloween at home. You can have a scary movie marathon.
Or taste test all the best Halloween candies, because why not?
Wear your Halloween costume and host a virtual party.
Don't forget to play Halloween games.
And jam to your Halloween playlist.
Speaking of music, our next episode is going to be about the most popular sort of music, K-pop.
Also, follow us on all of our social media handles, which will be linked below.
See you next time.
Bye!
Bye.
Hey guys, welcome back to CANDID TALKS. I'm Shruti.
I'm Nikki.
And I'm Meenu. This is episode 5, K-pop 101.
Currently, K-pop is a really popular type of music these days.
If you don't know what K-pop is, it's actually a genre of music originating in South Korea, and K-pop is the short form of Korean pop music.
We have all probably come across a K-pop related thing at least once, whether it be a BTS video or Gangnam Style.
We conducted a small survey on our Instagram account and now we will announce the results.
For the question, do you like K-pop? 46% said they like and 54% said they don't.
And most of them said that their favorite song is Dynamite by BTS.
In this video, we tell you all about K-pop.
The roots of K-pop goes back to the 1950s, but the kind of K-pop that we listen to today started from the 1990s.
The start of modern K-pop can be pinpointed to the date April 11th, 1992, when the group called Sotaji and the Boys debuted.
They experimented with different styles and genres of music and helped reshape the contemporary music in Korea.
They used a fusion of American rap and Korean lyrics and went above and beyond the cultural norms acceptable at the time.
In the late 1990s, people started using the term idol. Entertainment agencies recruited trainees with potential talent and trained them in dance, singing, and rapping.
These trainees trained for many years and if they are lucky, they might get to debut. This is the system that entertainment agencies use these days.
In the late 90s, three entertainment agencies came onto the scene: SM Entertainment, YG Entertainment, and JYP Entertainment. YG Entertainment was founded by Yang Hyun-suk, a member of Sotaji and the Boys. These three companies are considered the big three companies in K-pop.
JYP Entertainment was founded by JY Park, who was a solo artist and produced many hit songs like Swing Baby and Honey. He also established a tried and true idol-making process that is still used today.
In 1996, the first idol group debuted from SM Entertainment called HOT and gets massive success. And then Korea enters an economic crisis and people were struggling.
Then in 1998, a group named Shinhwa debuts from SM Entertainment.
A group called G.O.D also debuted from JYP Entertainment.
Many other groups like Chakra, Baby Vox, Cleo, Finkel, SES, Chex Kiss, One Time, and many other talented solo artists were also popular during this time.
Looking back, we call this the first generation of K-pop, which was sparked by Sotaji and Boys, and everything became systematic like idol training system.
Groups with crazy hair, crazy fashion, and dance music were still new and strange, but was popular among the public.
In the transition to second generation, there was the 1.5 generation, and many talented solo artists and groups that do ballad and rock became popular, like Buzz, Vibe, MC The Max, The Cross, Was, and SG Wannabe.
Then why did K-pop grow?
In August 2000, the famous Boa debuts from SM Entertainment. She's arguably the most talented and successful female artist in K-pop history.
And many other solo artists like Rain and Seven also kept the K-pop flame alive.
Rain from JYP, Boa from SM, and Seven from YG. This is when we see the three companies grow to become the big three in K-pop that we know today.
Finally is the second generation, and SM debuts a new group called TVXQ in 2004 and became really popular in Korea, China, and Japan.
SM then debuts Super Junior in 2005, Girls' Generation in 2007, and Shiny and the Facts in 2009.
Super Junior gets super popular throughout Southeast Asia with songs like Sorry Sorry and Mr. Simple.
While Girls' Generation becomes the nation girl group with their beautiful visuals and charming songs like Kissing You and Baby Baby.
They conquer Japan with their hit songs like G and Genie.
While Shiny puts out super addictive and hit songs like Lucifer, Ring Ding Dong, Juliet, and becomes super successful.
FX has a lot of experimental concepts and the electronic music gets a lot of positive reactions from the public. This is also when we get to see a few members that are not Korean.
Now here comes Big Bang from YG Entertainment in 2006 with their roots in hip-hop.
In 2007, their title track Lies from their EP Always became a huge success and made them escalate to the top quickly.
With hit songs after hit songs like Haru Haru, Red Sunset and Last Travel makes them the number one group in Korea.
With mega hits like Bang Bang Bang, Loser, Soba, Bebe, and more, they become the most popular and influential K-pop group. They're often called the kings of K-pop. Big Bang's leader, G-Dragon, produced most of these mega hit songs and lives on to become the most influential fashion, music, and trend icon to this day.
In 2009, a four-member girl group named 21 debuts from YG Entertainment with a very strong female concept.
They released hit songs like Fire, I Don't Care, Go Away, Lonely, and I'm the Best. They offered a girl group concept that wasn't the traditional cutesy and girly type.
Speaking about girl groups, we have to go back to JYP Entertainment because it's called the Girl Group Royal Company.
Wonder Girls, debuting in 2007, puts out hit songs like Tell Me and Nobody and became very popular. Their songs were mainly electro-pop and retro-funk and were the first to be on American TV shows.
They were the first K-pop artists to be on the Billboard Hot 100 with their mega hit song Nobody.
JYP also puts out boy groups such as 2AM and 2PM in 2008.
Is it third gen yet?
Well, some people draw the line by 10 years while others draw the line with sudden popularity.
But in the transition to the third generation, a lot of groups like BTOB, BAP, Infinite, Newest, Block B, VIX, A-Pink, AOA, Tiara, Miss A, Girls' Day, and Sistar, and many more. But the most dominant groups in this transition era was EXO.
EXO-M and EXO-K debuted in 2012 from SM Entertainment and was an experimental approach of dividing and conquering. They became really popular throughout East and Southeast Asia and they had the biggest fandom.
They put out hit songs after hit songs like Overdose, Growl, Monster, and their only rival was Big Bang, and they opened the doors to third generation.
The characteristics of the third generation are catching the global audience, idol survival programs, and the mass inflation of idols.
Because of the mass inflation of idols, concepts were overlapping and there was a lack of creativity and the public started to dislike K-pop.
In 2012, the world went crazy over Gangnam Style by Psy from YG Entertainment. It was the first video to get 1 billion views and once used to be the most viewed YouTube video ever. It even got a number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. This was the first time that people started recognizing K-pop in a country called South Korea.
In the third generation, the idols with good musical talents were the only ones who were able to survive, and companies started making groups where there were at least one foreign member and an English-speaking member.
Some of the girl groups that are leading the third generation are Blackpink, Red Velvet, and Twice. JYP Entertainment's girl group Twice, debuting in 2015, earned the nation's girl group title by releasing hit songs like Yes or Yes, TT, Knock Knock, More and More, Likey, and more.
YG Entertainment's girl group Blackpink, debuting in 2016, released hit songs like Childasla, Playing with Fire, Tool Tool Do, How You Like That, and Lovesick Girls. They are the highest charting female K-pop girl group and was the first K-pop artist to perform at Coachella. They have 3 songs with over 1 billion views and their debut is considered the biggest K-pop debut as the debut song Boombaya has over 1 billion views.
Red Velvet is praised for their charming visuals and high-quality songs. They are the only K-pop group to perform in North Korea, and Time magazine named them as one of the best K-pop idols. But there are many talented girl groups such as Mamamoo, IZ*ONE, Momoland, G-Idol, Cox, Dreamcatcher, G-Friend, Luna, Oh My Girl, Everglow, and more.
Talented popular boy groups such as iKON, NCT, GOT7, 17, Winner, Monster X, and Stray Kids are globally popular and even appeared on Western TV shows. There are other groups like SF9, Pentagon, Astro, and more as well.
Talented solo artist IU is a nation singer debuting in 2008. She has multiple ballads. She also has the popularity equivalent to any K-pop group. She has many hit songs like Beep Beep, 8, Palette, and more.
There are also other solo artists like Jessie, Eric Nam, Sunmi, Chungha, and many more.
It's already 2020 and the fourth generation of K-pop has begun with groups like TXT, ATEEZ, Treasure, and ITZY leading the way.
Before we move on to the fourth generation, there is one third gen group that we cannot skip, and that group is called BTS.
BTS is a seven-member group debuting on July 13th, 2013 with their song No More Dream from an almost bankrupt agency called Big Hit Entertainment founded by Bang Shi-hyuk.
BTS originally debuted as a hip-hop group, but over the years their music has diversified. Their lyrics on their songs contain messages about depression, mental health, youth problems, and the journey of loving oneself.
In their starting years, they were mocked back for their group name meaning Bulletproof Boy Scouts in Korean and did not receive much attention. And some people even called them ugly.
Today, two of the members, Jin and V, are considered the most handsome men in the world.
They started getting popular after the hit songs like I Need You, Dope, and Save Me.
They went on multiple major American television shows. They became the first K-pop artist to win an award at the AMAs and consecutively won the Billboard Top Social Artist Award since 2017. They also won the Top Duo and Group. They're the first K-pop group to perform and attend the Grammys. They did a UN speech twice, and they have the most number of Daesangs and music show wins. They even received Korea's Cultural Merit Award and the James A. Van Fleet Award, and performed in some of the world's biggest stadiums like Wembley, Rose Bowl, and stadiums in Saudi Arabia.
They hold many Guinness World Records and are by far the most successful K-pop group ever. They are described as the Korean invasion, just like how the Beatles were called the British invasion.
They have many mega hit songs like Dynamite, Fake Love, DNA, Idol, Mic Drop, Boy With Love, On, etc. and also have two music videos with over 1 billion views.
K-pop is so large and deep that we cannot go into detail for every group.
But we hope you were able to learn something new here.
K-pop is filled with a variety of music genre styles.
Make sure to follow us on our social media handles, which will be linked below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Larger Than Love.
See you in our next episode, which will be about Diwali. Bye!
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 Clean the house and decorate, brand new clothes to celebrate, so much to appreciate, it's Diwali.
Hi guys, welcome back to Candid Talks. I'm Meenu.
I'm Shruti.
And I'm Nikki, and welcome to episode 6, Diwali Blast.
As usual, we conducted a small survey on Instagram about Diwali.
The first question we had asked was, do you celebrate Diwali?
And all of those who voted said that they do celebrate.
Wow, that's great. The second question we asked was, what is your favorite part of Diwali?
We got different answers like spending time with friends and family, new outfits, and fireworks.
The last question was, what is a way in which we can safely celebrate Diwali this year?
One person answered by not bursting firecrackers.
Now, let's get started.
Diwali is a festival celebrated throughout India, sometimes in October or November in the Gregorian calendar. This year, Diwali is celebrated on November 14th.
It is celebrated on the darkest night of the Hindu lunisolar month of Kartika.
The word Diwali originates from the Sanskrit word Deepavali, and this festival is also called the Festival of Lights.
Like many Hindu festivals, there are many stories on why this 5-day ancient festival is celebrated.
Well, what can we say? India is a very diverse country.
Yup. One very popular and common story about Diwali originates in northern India and is associated with Lord Rama, an incarnation of Lord Vishnu.
Rama's wife Sita was kidnapped by an evil king in Lanka called Ravana, and to rescue her, Lord Rama made a bridge to Lanka with the help of a monkey army and Lord Hanuman.
After freeing Sita and killing Ravana, they returned to the city of Ayodhya after their 14 years of exile. To help them come back home since it was a new moon night and to just welcome them, the people lit lamps, and the day that they returned is considered Diwali.
Lighting lamps during Diwali is one of the traditions that has been followed for many years.
Another story that is very popular in southern India is that the Hindu god Krishna, who is also an avatar of Lord Vishnu.
The story is that Lord Krishna defeated the evil demon Narakasura.
In Western India, the festival marks the day that Lord Vishnu sent the divine King Bali to rule the netherworld.
A Vedic legend also suggests that it was on the night of Diwali when goddess Lakshmi chose to stay with and wed Lord Vishnu.
Lord Ganesha is also remembered as a symbol of new beginnings and is worshipped on the day of Diwali as well.
People of East India associate Diwali with goddess Durga and her fierce Kali avatar.
Traders and merchant families offer prayers to goddess Saraswati, who is worshipped as the giver of music, literature, and wisdom.
Kubera, who is worshipped as the Lord of Wealth, is also remembered on Diwali.
Hindus interpret the story of the origin of Diwali based upon where they live, but there's one common theme no matter where people celebrate.
And that is the spiritual victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance.
Now let's get into how this festival is celebrated. Diwali is celebrated over 5 days.
On the first day, people clean their homes and shop for gold or kitchen utensils to help bring good fortune.
On the second day, people decorate their homes with clay lamps called diyas and create design patterns called rangoli on the floor using colored powder or sand.
On day 3, which is the main day of the festival, families gather together for Lakshmi Puja, a prayer to goddess Lakshmi, followed by mouth-watering feasts and firework festivities.
It is well known that goddess Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth, fortune, luxury and prosperity.
While Lord Ganesha is known as the remover of obstacles, the patron of arts and science, and the god of intellect and wisdom.
Hence, this is why on the day of Diwali it is a custom to worship goddess Lakshmi and Lord Ganesha together.
On the fourth day, which is considered the first day of the new year in the Hindu calendar, when friends and relatives visit with gifts and best wishes for the season.
On the last day, brothers visit their married sisters who welcome them with love and a lavish meal.
Now let's talk about the different traditions.
Cleaning the house is one of the common traditions. It is believed that goddess Lakshmi graces those homes that are absolutely clean.
Decorating the entrance is of high importance while decorating your house. After all, that's the place from where the goddess Lakshmi enters your house. So, one of the traditions is making a beautiful rangoli using vibrant colors or flowers at your doorstep.
Another tradition is making sweets and distributing them among family and friends and those who visit your home during the festival.
Another tradition is shopping. Diwali is one of the biggest shopping festivals in India, and there are a lot of sales and deals during this time as well. It is considered auspicious to buy gold, silver, jewelry, kitchen utensils, new clothes, etc. It is also known to be a good time to invest, so new property and vehicles are in big demand during the season.
Lighting the house. It is a must to have illumination to invite goddess Lakshmi into one's home. Traditionally, people light earthen lamps called diyas and place them on windowsills or doorways. This is one of the oldest traditions.
To celebrate the victory of good over evil, people burst firecrackers since it is believed that the sound and light of firecrackers help ward off evil spirits. These days, because of all the noise pollution, people are buying eco-friendly firecrackers so that less pollution is created. We suggest that all of you do the same.
Giving gifts is also an important tradition of Diwali. People give boxes of sweets, dry fruits, consumer products, and other things to their friends, family, relatives, and neighbors.
Diwali is a time to get together with friends and family. Festive family dinners are also a common tradition. But obviously, that's not possible during the pandemic.
To conclude, Diwali is also known as the Festival of Lights, which is an Indian holiday celebrated throughout the subcontinent of India, which has various backstories and traditions, and gives a common message of victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance.
Make sure to follow us on our social media handles, which will be linked below in the description box.
And stay tuned for our next episode, which will be about phobias.
Bye!
Bye!
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Candid Talks. I'm Meenu.
I'm Shruti.
And I'm Nikki.
Today's episode is going to be about phobias, which means irrational fear of something.
Moving on with our tradition. Yep, the results of the survey.
For the question, what are you afraid of? We have gotten a few different answers.
spiders, snakes, and tiny insects.
The next question was, is it okay to be terribly afraid of something?
And everybody who answered said yes.
That's great! And the final question was, how will you react to your fear?
Most of them said that they run away, and one person said that they confront their fear.
In my opinion, I think the second answer is the right thing to do.
Yep. So moving on.
Phobia is derived from the word phobos, which means flight.
In this case, flight means escaping from their fear.
Phobias are caused due to genetic and environmental factors. Traumatic experiences can also cause phobias.
Phobias can limit your daily activities and may cause anxiety and depression.
Complex phobias are more likely to cause these symptoms. People with phobias often purposely avoid coming into contact with the thing that causes them fear.
Almost all phobias can be successfully treated and cured. Simple phobias can be treated through gradual exposure to the object, animal, place, or situation that causes fear and anxiety. This is known as self-exposure therapy.
People also take psychotherapy to overcome their phobia. Talking with a mental health professional can help you manage your specific phobia.
Fear is experienced by everyone during an unknown or dangerous situation, but fear becomes a phobia for people who experience extreme anxiety and that fear interferes with their daily activities.
For example, feeling nervous while looking down from a skyscraper is fear, but turning down a job because it is on the 10th floor of an office building is phobia.
While some phobias developed in childhood, most of them seem to arise unexpectedly, usually during adolescence or early adulthood. Their onset is usually sudden, and they may occur in situations that previously did not cause any discomfort or anxiety.
Moving on, today we will be telling you about some crazy phobias.
Well, we're usually afraid of some common things like insects, but these are called phobias because these fears affect their lives.
Arachnophobia. This is the fear of spiders. This phobia tends to affect women more than men.
Ophidiophobia, the fear of snakes.
The fear of heights is called acrophobia.
Agoraphobia is the fear of situations in which escape is difficult. This may include crowded areas, open spaces, or situations that are likely to trigger a panic attack. People will begin avoiding these trigger events, sometimes to the point that they cease leaving their homes. Approximately one-third of people with panic disorder developed agoraphobia.
The fear of dogs is called cynophobia. This phobia is often associated with specific personal experiences, such as being bitten by a dog during childhood.
Astrophobia, the fear of thunder and lightning.
Trypanophobia is the fear of needles or injections. Like many phobias, this fear often goes untreated because people avoid the triggering object and situation.
Social phobia, the fear of social situations. In many cases, these phobias can become so severe that people avoid events, places, and people that are likely to trigger an anxiety attack.
Aviophobia. This is the fear of flying, often treated using exposure therapy, in which the client is gradually and progressively introduced to flying.
Claustrophobia, the fear of enclosed spaces. Sometimes the fear of flying is actually more closely linked to a fear of enclosed spaces. People with this fear say they feel like the walls are closing in on them.
Ergophobia. It is the fear of work or the workplace. Psychologists believe that it is a combination of fears such as failing at tasks, social anxiety, and public speaking.
Phobophobia. This is the fear of having a phobia, and chromophobia is the fear of colors.
Check this out. Ephebophobia is the fear of teenagers. I mean, what did we do?
Nyctophobia. This is the fear of the dark.
Haphophobia is an anxiety disorder characterized by a fear of being touched.
People who have nephrophobia are scared of clouds, so a foggy day would be a terrifying experience for such people, or flying above the clouds.
Homophobia is the fear of LGBTQIA plus people. Why people have to be open-minded.
Triskaidekaphobia is the fear of number 13. This type of fear persists in people when seeing or noticing number 13. They usually avoid floor number 13 or car plate with number 13 or anything with the number 13 on it.
Companiophobia is the fear of buttons. Such people fear wearing or even avoid seeing buttons. So, it's obvious that you won't see them at any formal event where everyone is either wearing a suit or shirt.
Nosophobia is characterized as a fear of knowledge. Nosophobic people might react with aversion or hatred to any kind of new knowledge.
Mysophobia, the fear of germs or dirt. This may be related to obsessive-compulsive disorder.
Phobias are when you are afraid of something, such as spiders. OCD is when you obsess and impulse over those fears.
Spiders, for example. With just a phobia, you may freak out over seeing a spider or just check a single time if spiders are somewhere. With the OCD, you will be checking for spiders over and over, again and again. You are obsessed if a spider is somewhere and you are urged to check over and over again.
Regardless of what fear we face, we have to stay strong and overcome that.
We mustn't judge people because of this and be considerate to them.
The next episode is about one of the mysteries of our universe, black holes. So stay tuned for it.
Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles that will be linked in the description.
See you in the next episode. Hi guys, I'm Eno, and welcome back to Candid Talks.
On today's episode, we will be talking about black holes, white holes, and wormholes.
As usual, we conducted a survey on Instagram and here are the results. If you don't follow us on there, then make sure to follow us at Larger Than Life 3.
The first question that we asked was, do you know what a black hole is?
For which 71% said yes and 29% said no.
The second question was, do you think a white hole is real?
33% said yes, whereas 67% said no.
The third question was, would you rather fall into a black hole or fall into a white hole?
78% said that they would fall into a black hole and 22% said that they would fall into a white hole.
Now we'll get into what a black hole is.
A black hole is a region of space-time where gravity is so strong that nothing, no particles or even electromagnetic radiation such as light can escape from it. The theory of general relativity predicts that a sufficiently compact mass can reform space-time to form a black hole.
The boundary of the region from which no escape is possible is called the event horizon. Quantum field theory in curved spacetime predicts that event horizons emit Hawking radiation, with the same spectrum as a black body of a temperature, inversely proportional to its mass.
Black holes were discovered by Carl Schwarzschild in 1916.
Supermassive black holes are theoretically predicted to be at the center of every galaxy and that possibly a galaxy cannot form without one. A white hole is a hypothetical region of spacetime and singularity which cannot be entered from the outside, although energy, matter and light can escape from it.
In this sense, it is the reverse of a black hole, which can be entered only from the outside and from which energy, matter and light cannot escape, although information and evidence regarding white holes remain inconclusive. The 2006 GRB 060614 has been proposed as the first documented observance of a white hole.
Stephen Hawking and others have proposed that these supermassive black holes form a supermassive white hole. Now, we're going to talk about how black holes form. Primarily, black holes are thought to have formed in the early universe, soon after the Big Bang.
Stellar black holes form when the center of a very massive star collapses in upon itself.
This collapse also causes a supernova or an exploding star that blasts part of the star into space. Scientists think supermassive black holes are formed at the same time as the galaxy they are in. The size of the supermassive black hole is related to the size and mass of the galaxy it is in.
Now, we're going to tell you some fun facts about black holes.
You can't directly see a black hole. A black hole is called a black hole because of its color, especially since light can't escape. What we can see though is the effects of a black hole. Analyzing the surrounding area of a black hole, we can see its effects upon its environment. For example, a star that's close enough to a black hole can be seen being ripped apart.
Our Milky Way probably has a black hole, but don't be alarmed. Earth isn't in danger. The major black hole that astronomers believe to be within our Milky Way is light years away from Earth.
Dying stars lead to stellar black holes. The death of large stars lead to black holes because the star's gravity will overwhelm the star's natural pressure that it maintains to keep its shape. When the pressure from the nuclear reactions collapses, gravity overwhelms and collapses the star's core, and the star's outer layers are thrown off into space, and this process is also known as a supernova. The remainder of the core collapses, a smoke overcome by density and without volume, a black hole. Now, I'm going to tell you the three categories of a black hole. Primordial black holes. These are the smallest of the black holes and range from an atom size to a mountain's mass. Stellar black holes. These are the most common black holes and they can be up to 20 times more massive than the Sun. There are also a variety of these all over the Milky Way. Supermassive black holes. These are the largest of the black holes, being more than 1 million times more massive than the Sun. Black holes are funky. Say someone falls into a black hole and there is an observer that witnesses this. The time of the person who fell into the black hole slows down relative to the person watching. This is explained by Einstein's theory of general relativity, which states that time is affected by how fast you are going when you are at extreme speeds close to light.
The first black hole wasn't discovered until X-ray astronomy was used. Cygnus X1 was the first black hole discovered in the 1960s and is 10 times more massive than the Sun.
The closest black hole is probably not 1,600 years away. V4647 Sagittarius was thought to be 1,600 light years away, but is further away than expected. Scientists now believe that this black hole is about 20,000 light years away. We don't know if wormholes exist. We don't know if this even exists since we don't know everything about physics. But that also means that anything may be possible. Black holes are only dangerous if you get too close. Black holes are safe to observe from a faraway distance, but not if you get too close, which also means that it's unlikely for the black hole to consume the entire universe.
Black holes are constantly used in science fiction. There are a multitude of black hole portrayals in science fiction. Many examples include Interstellar, Event Horizon, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Treasure Island, Superman the Animated Series, and Transformers.
The next episode is going to be all about environmental problems. Stay tuned for the next episode.
Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles.
Bye! Bye!
Hi guys, you're listening to Candid Talks. I'm Shruti.
I'm Meenu. And I'm Nikki.
Today we will be talking about the tortures that we make our Mother Earth go through.
Wow, that was too bold.
Moving on, the world's biggest environmental problems are
Air pollution. Overloading of the atmosphere and of ocean waters with carbon. Atmospheric carbon dioxide absorbs and re-emits infrared wavelength radiation, leading to warmer air, soil, and ocean surface water, which is good. The planet would be frozen without this.
Carbon overloading is only one form of air pollution caused by burning coal, oil, gas, and wood.
The World Health Organization recently estimated that 1 in 9 deaths were attributable to diseases caused by poisons in polluted air.
If we replace fossil fuels with renewable energy, the amount of carbon dioxide in the air would decrease. But we are not applying them quickly enough to prevent climate disruption. Barriers in finance and policies remain to be overcome.
Number 2. Deforestation. Species-rich wild forests are being destroyed, especially in the tropics, often to make way for construction or other agricultural purposes.
Today, about 30% of the planet's land area is covered by forests, which is about half as much before agriculture got started around 11,000 years ago. About 7.3 million hectares of forests are destroyed each year, mostly in the tropics.
Tropical forests used to cover about 50% of the planet's land area. They are now down to 6 or 7%. Much of this remainder has been degraded by logging or burning. Not only do natural forests act as biodiversity reserves, they are also carbon sinks, keeping carbon out of the atmosphere and oceans.
We must conserve what's left of our natural forests and restore degraded areas by replanting with native tree species. This requires strong governance, but many tropical countries are still developing, with increasing populations, uneven rule of law, and widespread bribery when it comes to allocating land use.
Number 3. Species extinction. On land, wild animals are being hunted to extinction for bushmeat, ivory, or medicinal products. At sea, huge industrial fishing boats equipped with bottom trawling or porcine nests clean out entire fish population. The loss and destruction of habitat are also major factors contributing to a wave of extinction, unprecedented in that it is caused by a single species, humans. The red list of threatened and endangered species continue to grow.
Not only do species inherently deserve to exist, they also provide products and services essential to human survival. Think bees and their pollinating powers, necessary for growing food. Without bees, there won't be pollination, and without pollination, we will not have flora for food and all other purposes.
Concerted efforts need to be made to prevent further loss of biodiversity. Protecting and restoring habitats is one side of this. Protecting against poaching and wildlife trade is another. This should be done in partnership with locals so that wildlife conservation is in their social and economic interest.
Soil degradation, overgrazing, monoculture planting, erosion, soil compaction, overexposure to pollutants, land use conversion. There's a long list of ways that soil is being damaged. About 12 million hectares of farmland a year get seriously degraded, according to UN estimates.
A wide range of soil conservation and restoration techniques exist, from no-till agriculture to crop rotation to water retention to terrace building. Given that food security depends on keeping soils in good condition, we are likely going to master this challenge in the long run. Whether this will be done in a way equitable to all people around the globe remains an open question.
Overpopulation. Human population continue to grow rapidly worldwide. Humanity entered the 20th century with 1.6 billion people. Right now, we are about 7.5 billion. Estimates put us at nearly 10 billion by 2050. Growing global population combined with growing affluence is putting even greater pressure on essential natural resources like water. Most of the growth is happening on African continent and in southern and eastern Asia.
Experience has shown that when women are empowered to control their own reproduction and gain access to education and basic social services, the average number of births per woman drops quickly.
Done right, networked aid systems could bring women out of extreme poverty, even in countries where state-level governance remains inferior.
Water pollution. There are 5.25 trillion pieces of plastic debris in the ocean. Not only is garbage introduced into the oceans, but also the excessive amounts of fertilizer that finds its way into the ocean through rains, floods, winds, or dumped in excess right into the largest producer of the oxygen we have.
Year after year, millions of tons of garbage are dumped into the ocean. Since the garbage mainly consists of plastics, it is largely indissoluble. The garbage accumulates in large vortexes across the ocean.
Marine animals are tricked into thinking they're eating food, when really it is only a floating plastic bag or other poisonous plastic that will cause starvation or suffocation to any unfortunate animal that mistakenly ingests it.
Ozone depletion. The ozone layer is renowned for its ability to absorb harmful UV rays that would otherwise be detrimental to the health of all walks of life. Without an ozone layer, walking outside would be unbearable.
However, ozone-depleting substances, or ODS, primarily made up of chlorine and bromine, find their way up to stratosphere where they strip the O3 of oxygen, destroying its capabilities of absorbing UV light. The human impact is devastating for plants that are extremely sensitive to UV light, including wheat and barley, two indispensable crops to humans.
Global warming. Global warming is arguably the greatest cause of impact on the environment. The largest of causes through CO2 levels from respiration to more detrimental causes like burning fossil fuels and deforestation.
As the temperature increases, Arctic land ice and glaciers melt, which cause the ocean levels to rise at a rate of 3.42 millimeters per year, allowing more water to absorb more heat, which melts more ice, creating a positive feedback loop, which will cause the ocean to rise 1 to 4 feet by 2100.
This adds to the climate change. Changes caused by technology and current day needs is just increasing the stress we put on our planet.
These mega trends present major global threats for planet Earth. Problems that must be solved if the world is to remain a supportive habitat for humans and other species.
You're right. If we do not step up even now, it's like pressing the self-destruct button for our survival.
Every organism has the equal right to live on Earth. All of us are a part of nature's creation. We need to make our planet a better place for ourselves and the future people.
The best time to act was yesterday. The best we can do is today. But if we wait for tomorrow, it may just be too late. Society needs to help itself in order to survive.
Very true.
See you all in the next video.
Bye.
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 Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Year.